So I was talking to my realtor, and she asked me if I was interested in getting an inspection on my new home. I thought, this is a great idea, and a little light bulb went off in my head. So what I did this morning is I reached out to 5 local inspectors to see if they'd be interested in inspecting my new house. As soon as I told all 5 of them that I'm a licensed home inspector, but I wanted an unbiased opinion, one of them hung up on me, so that's not going to work. So I'm having 4 home inspections this week. 1 from a value inspector, 2 from mid-range inspectors, and 1 from a rather high-end inspector. I'm going to compare all 4 reports, see what it looks like. I think it'll be a fun game. So I was seeing this comment a lot. So I completed my home inspection today, and the results were interesting. I found a grand total of 18 defects on my new construction home. Now, I can't tell you what all those defects are for the sake of the scientific method. Just in case one of the other inspectors happens to see this, I don't want to give away too many secrets. So we have an inspection on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I'll be posting daily updates as soon as I receive their reports. However, my hypothesis is that there's a direct correlation between the price of the inspector and the quality of the report that you receive. So let's find out. Follow for part 3. Inspector inspecting the inspections of inspectors. Part 3. First things first, let's get this question out of the way. I'm in the upper mid-tier range. So as of today, Wednesday, we've had 2 inspections. We have 1 more Thursday and 1 more Friday. I can't give away any details yet, just in case they do happen to see my TikTok. But I do have a couple observations about what it's been like so far. So I asked all the inspectors to send me a pre-inspection contract so I can review it, sign it, pay them, and all that good stuff. One of the inspectors informed me that a pre-inspection contract is legal mumbo-jumbo and it's not necessary. So cool, no contract. Another inspector emailed me a document that I had to print, wet sign, scan, upload, and email back to him. But the other 2 were seamless. I can e-sign it and pay online. So inspector number 1 did not think to open the dishwasher before starting a cycle, so all the paperwork that came in the brand new dishwasher was effectively ruined, so I don't get to have that anymore. Inspector number 1 also states my HVAC unit only works in emergency heat, so let's investigate that. Maybe part 4 only works in emergency heat because there's a switch here. That's better. No, but seriously, I haven't been this excited for a long time, so I'm excited for parts 4 and 5 to come in the next couple days. Inspection time, update number 4. So my high-priced inspector, number 2, I had high hopes for him. High hopes. But I just got off the phone with ADT. Why did I just get off the phone with ADT, you ask? I'll explain. See, inspector number 2 sends all of his client's data to ADT. Basically, ADT then calls the client and tries to upsell a home security system. If ADT will successfully sell a home security system to you, inspector number 2 gets a kickback for all of those referrals. I get these calls from ADT all the time. I hang up on them because it's bullshit and I like to protect my client's privacy. Just how that works. With that being said, I hire you to perform one specific task: inspect my home. If I would like an ADT system, I will call ADT myself. I don't need your assistance with that. I don't know if it's just an old-fashioned belief, but I'm a firm believer in that if I have clients' personal information, I should protect it as if it were my own. I'll get off my soapbox now. I'm just kind of livid about that. We'll have another update tomorrow. It involves inspector number 1 again. Inspecting the inspector, number 5. But first things first, check out the new Charlotte Football Club hoodie, coming in 2022. Can't wait. So we all remember inspector number 1, right? The guy that started the dishwasher without checking first to see if there was any paperwork or anything inside of it and ruined a bunch of warranty stuff. That guy. So I was reading over his inspection report and noticed something that was kind of intriguing to me. Inspector number 1 states, panel door is damaged. Want sill against the wall. Recommend repair before closing. See, that's crazy because I had no idea it was damaged, so I read further. He even went as far to include a picture of the damage. So I called inspector number 1 to see what was up. I said, "Hey, inspector number 1, there's this damage on the panel. What happened?" And he said, oh, don't worry about it. Sometimes they ship that way because people are pretty rough with packages at FedEx and UPS. And I told him that's kind of impossible because I had just inspected that panel 12 hours before he did. And whenever I inspected the panel, there were no dents, stings, or blemishes anywhere. So inspector number one got quiet for a minute, and then he just said, well, I guess I'm just a liar then. And then quickly changed the subject. See, I'm the kind of person, I don't care if you break something. Shit happens. But what I do care about is professional responsibility. If you break something, just tell me you broke it. But what I do not appreciate is you breaking something, lying about it, and then writing it up as a defect in my home inspection report. But all 4 inspections have been completed, so we should start getting some pretty good feedback tomorrow. Keep an eye out. Inspecting the inspector, part 6. You know, after the first couple inspections, I was starting to understand why tradesmen hated inspectors. Some of these inspections that I've gotten just straight up suck. I mean, they're calling out things that aren't real. And then actual issues that my home has doesn't even get mentioned. So enter inspector number 4. Inspector number 4 made me realize that there are still a lot of really good inspectors out there. Number 4 is one of them. And full transparency, he found one more defect than I did. And that's saying something. So I've already called inspector number 4 and said, hey, if you want a job, let me know. It's yours. I mean, he had a clear, concise report. He opened up every single window, tested every single faucet. Like, he was on his A game. Not to mention, I was able to sign and pay online. It was easy. It was even same-day reporting. Seriously, I wish we had more inspectors just like inspector number 4. Like, I cannot sing his praises enough. Fucking love that guy. So that's enough good news. I have to get back to your regular, gloomy, boring shit tomorrow, because trust me, we've got some more depressing information from the other inspection reports. Part 7 should come before the Cowboys game tomorrow, or after the Cowboys game. I don't TikTok while the Cowboys are on. Inspecting the inspector, part 7. Time to show you guys some of the miscues that a couple of these inspectors had. Inspector states that exterior HVAC unit is extremely unlevel and this will contribute to a shortened lifespan. It's 1 degree. Talk about significant. Inspector states that I have negative grading in the driveway. Doesn't look negative to me. It actually slopes away from the home as it should. Inspector states that doorbell doesn't work. How about that? Inspector states that there's no GFCI protection in the master bathroom. Turns out there is. Inspector states there's no GFCI protection in the kitchen either. Yeah, there is. Inspector states that deadbolt for back door is not functional. Looks functional to me. Inspector states that garage door opener does not function. Oh, don't worry. Part number 8's coming soon. Alright, because you guys keep asking for it, inspecting the inspector, part 8. But first, this is Tucker, aka asshole number 1. This is Dakota, asshole number 2. And this is Cooper, asshole number 3. So this is the video where I explain some of the fine details of this whole inspection rigmarole. Oh, and trust me, there's so much stuff, there's pretty much got to be a part 9. So, first things first, pricing. Inspector number 1, $350. Inspector number 2, $400. Inspector number 3, $275. Inspector number 4, $350. Typically, $350 is about the average going rate in my market area for a 1,400 square foot house. So now let's get into defects. Inspector number 1, he found 8 presumed defects. 5 of those were actually defects, and 1 of them he caused himself. Inspector number 2, my high-priced inspector, there were 12 presumed defects, 9 of which were actual defects, and also the fact that my pressure-treated deck is not stained, that's apparently a defect. Inspector number 3, my cheap guy, there were 5 presumed defects, 2 of which were actually defects. And inspector number 4, Shannon, he's awesome, 19 defects, and they were all actually defects. Like, dude's good at what he does. And for those of you who haven't seen parts 1 through 7, inspector number 1 breaks things and lies about it. Inspector number 2 sells his client's data to ADT to pocket some extra money. Inspector number 3 doesn't send out contracts. I could literally make 20 or 30 parts to this series, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on what you guys can do to make sure you're finding a quality inspector in the first place. Because that's why I'm here. I make TikToks to make sure you guys get good inspections. That's it.